Don't be afraid to be afraid to be a nice guy. You're such a
Okay. So the song Nice Guy, to me, it feels like such a breakthrough song. Everything you've just been talking about, that sort of wrestling and of these emotions of highs and lows and being real with yourself and real with the people in your life. To me, that song, though it describes a lot of that struggle, overall, it feels like this breakthrough to a better place and letting go of an old pattern and stepping forward into a new way. That's what I feel listening
Good.
to it.
Nailed it.
But maybe I should let you say.
If that's how it feels, amazing. That's great. Yeah. I mean, you kind of have choices when you address an issue in song. It's like you can lament, which there's catharsis to be found in that, and I certainly have some very lamenty songs, or you can revel in where you're going or what your options are. And I really wanted this to feel like a celebratory, just more of a, I know it feels dark right now, but there is a better way. And also like recognizing a subsect of the population that I feel are getting tempted and pulled into some pretty toxic circles. And a lot of guys, or doesn't even have to be men, but like there is a portion of the population that feels overlooked, and are turned because often violence and abuse and misogyny are rewarded. It is seen as this like, alpha, whatever you want to call it, strength. It is seen as like head of the household type bullshit, and rather than it being a partnership, rather than there being mutual respect, regardless of gender, regardless of, anything, that has been rewarded historically. And I get it. I get the story that when you are looking out in the world and you see evidence of it every day, of course you would get the notion that nice guys finish last. I understand it from a like logical standpoint, and it breaks my heart because it perpetuates a cycle that at some point somebody's got to be the person to break it. And the people that choose to not bend and abide by the misogynistic rhetoric and choose to be that version of what masculinity looks like and stay strong in being a solid friend, not being a creep, respecting women as equals, and those people that choose to stay strong in that despite what the media is kind of force feeding you, man, that must be hard. Man, that must be isolating. And I get people that slip into these communities where they blame women specifically for not wanting them. Why don't they want me? Why don't they, And I just wanted to try and explain the dynamic that is going on that can cause that, and take the responsibility away from those people, often those men that are doing their best to be solid dudes, and they're just coming up with no love. And it doesn't need to be sexual. It doesn't need to be romantic even. They just feel like they're left in the dust because they're not the loudest chest beating dude in the room. They feel left behind. And I get it. I get why women gravitate towards the loudest chest beating dude in the room, and you spend the rest of your life trying to relearn what love looks like and relearn how to be loved when you are raised observing that kind of overbearing, lack of respect, toxic versions of love and relationships. And when that's all that you've got to see, inform what relationships should look like, it makes sense that you gravitate towards men that treat you like shit. And what's left for these nice guys? What's left for those guys that are trying to be respectful and are trying to give you your space to grow and figure it out on your own, and don't constantly want to be the one saying like, this dude's a bag of shit and you can do better. We can hear that until we're blue in the face, but it's up to us to believe that we deserve better. It doesn't matter how many of our friends and family say like, this guy's not good for you. We have to believe that we deserve better. So this song was kind of meant to tell these guys to just hang on. Just don't change. Just please. That there's already enough shitty dudes out there that are feeding into this horrible cycle. Like, we need you. We need you to be allies. We need you to continue to be those people that refuse to dilute their spirit. And hopefully we will heal, and we will find you, and you will help us get back to what it means to love and be loved in a completely mutual, respectful way. And I hope we can find that dynamic.
Well, I think we are. I do feel like society is changing, and for sure we're influenced by generations of how we're raised and what we are modeling after, and it's slow, but it's changing. And so to a certain degree, there are many of us that fall back into these same old patterns, but you can see these breakthroughs. And generally speaking, like the gender roles in society are changing. And so there's these breakthroughs that it takes a while for them to really click, and there's that struggle for a while, but then it kind of clicks, and then it flows naturally. So I love that in this song you're able to describe that struggle, and you feel that history and how real that feels for the listener, but also how real and how hopeful and how lovely it feels overall to know that that place that you're going to, that you're bridging to, has this this possibility of harmony and of a healthy relationship with myself, a healthy relationship with my partner, a healthy relationship with the world around me. Sometimes that's really hard for, if you are stuck in that other pattern, to imagine even that possibility. Almost like that the healthy side seems not good enough, but you're showing it to be, it's actually better than you could ever imagine.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, a huge part of it is like retraining your nervous system to recognize that like passion doesn't need to be everything's on fire. Otherwise we don't love each other. Like, there is a version of it that if once you come out of those abusive relationships, recognizing like this period of me feeling like, why aren't we throwing anything at each other? Does he not love me? Like, there's a rewiring that has to happen. And how does it feel to be the other half of that relationship, waiting for that person to heal and feeling so confused, like, I don't understand. I'm showing you so much space and respect and compassion, but you're bored with me.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want
and recognizing like, man, it's not you. Man, it is not you. And stick by this person while they recalibrate and they figure out what it feels like to be in a stable, healthy relationship. And often they will flee and say like, well, I didn't feel any passion. No, you didn't feel constant anxiety of like, when's the next shoe gonna drop? When are we gonna just, fly off the handle again and like make a scene in a Denny's? Like when's the next, And that feels like, oh, but we're passionate. It's like, you can be passionate without being abusive to each other. And that's a really hard thing to relearn. And to the people who are the other half of those relationships standing wondering like, am I doing something wrong? Am I enough? You are. It's so hard to stand in that discomfort and feel like, am I the bad guy here for being a nice guy? You're not. You are not. But also I feel for those people who grew up only witnessing like, wow, they must really love each other because they're constantly at each other's throats. Like that must be what love looks like. I get that. And there is a relearning. And I think that this song was me placing that in front of myself and saying like, okay, what does it mean to relearn? Where am I at in that journey? What more do I need to do in order to let my walls down and be able to trust that like the love that I have and am experiencing is real and I am worthy of it. And all of the like, this is like, okay, forcing myself to lay it out in front of me and ask the questions and say like, who are those people in my life? Who are those nice guys that maybe I owe an apology to from my past? Who are those nice guys that I have now in my life that I need to celebrate more? I need to encourage more. Who are those nice guys that I have in my life that I need to encourage to go out and have community with other guys? Because a lot of the change that we see today in misogyny needs to come from men. Women are not going to convince men to stop hating them, to stop blaming them for the lack of love in their life, to stop treating women with disrespect. It has to, unfortunately, come from other men. And how do they feel empowered to do that? How do they feel like they can go out into their friend groups with other dudes and call each other on their shit? I don't know the answer to that. This is my offering in order to start that conversation, because it's not up to me. I can be an ally all I want and call a spade when I'm out in the world, but I think men have a lot more power in this fight, in this battle that we're raging. And how do we encourage them to feel supported going out there and putting themselves on the line while we are going through this discomfort of finding a new way? And you're right that it is a generational thing, and we're getting there. We're a long way from where we were. But when I'm still seeing a lot of turmoil out there that is caused by this sort of dynamic, it's like, okay, what do I have to offer to just, I don't know, illuminate, shine a light on it and say like, let's be real. Let's be real about what's happening. Let's not shy away from it. Let's just talk about it. I can't solve it, but music is not supposed to solve things. It's just supposed to shine light through the cracks of it to help us.
I like that. Illuminate it.
Yeah. I hope.